All right, welcome to this video where I'm going to show you how to fix any and all of your OpenClaw issues with the help of Claude Code. So if we jump right into it so that we don't waste any time, if you're having any sort of issues with OpenClaw, you might have encountered that you get the disconnected 1006 or disconnected 1008 and it has no reason. And you're trying to figure out what it is that could happen, right? So whenever you're using OpenClaw and you're modifying it through Telegram or through Slack or Discord, you might encounter some issues, right? And it always happens usually when you are either doing gateway configs and it needs to make changes to itself, or when it's doing a channel config and making changes to the way that you talk to and communicate with your OpenClaw. It can also happen when you're doing your APIs and you're changing models, for example, and it needs to restart its own gateway. And also inside of session model, right? So if it's doing any automated tasks for you and there happens to be where it's, let's say that it's self-improving itself and programming a solution for itself, it could happen that it just messes up its own config file, especially if you're using another AI provider than Anthropic, for example, because if you're using Kimike or if you're using, let's say, Qwen or any local model from via Ollama, for example, it could happen that the model isn't smart enough to actually set it up correctly. So let's jump into how you can fix this on a local machine with Claude Code, basically. And if you are on, let's say, a virtual private server using Hostinger, for example, I have a video that goes through how you can fix most of your issues, and I'll link that right up there in the top. All right, so the first thing that you want to do is, of course, you want to install Claude Code. So if you don't have Claude Code yet, you can just go to Claude Code, and what you'll do is you'll open a terminal app and you will basically just take this command right here, copy that and paste that into your terminal. And now I'm not sure if I'm gonna mess up my own Claude here. Nope, cool. So we're just gonna open a new terminal window, a new tab with profile, great. And we can basically install Claude and it's gonna do its whole thing for you. And I'm sure that if you're playing around with OpenClaw, you probably have Claude Code already. So you install Claude Code and you go into your Anthropic account and you can go and you can basically connect via an API key. So if you don't want to get the $100 or $200 plan, you can just connect your API key and use Claude Code on the fly just briefly. And if you can see on my costs here as well, you can see that I've been using things very extensively. In total, I've spent over $1,000 when it comes to OpenClaw. And as you can see, I've managed to cost optimize my own processes heavily. And I'm going to be launching a workshop, which is going to launch maybe tomorrow, where basically a 1 hour and 30 minutes long video about setting up OpenClaw from the scratch, from beginning until the end, where you have a multi-agentic workflow. So get your API key and get your Claude Code working. As you can see, it's working here. So if I just now reference Claude, it should now basically be starting. But what I'm going to do here, I'm going to terminate that. And what you want to do when you're on local, you want to go into the installation folder that you installed OpenClaw. And if you installed it inside of the basic path that it always goes, you can go into your, let's say, go into your device here. So my Trinamere, which is the name of my bot, and I can go into Macintosh and I can go into users, click on my user, and then you can see that I have all of these files here, but you might not see them. So you want to click on your Command Shift and then press the punctuation mark. And that is basically going to help you display your the hidden folders, right? So that's CMD plus Shift plus punctuation mark. And that is going to show the hidden folders. And you can right click on OpenClaw here and you can do services and you can press new terminal folder. And what this is going to do, it's going to basically launch a terminal inside of that folder. And you can then now write Claude and you can trust this folder. And what is going to happen now is you can now go into OpenClaw here and you can paste the FAQ section and you can just tell, hey, I need you to fix my OpenClaw. I am not able to connect to my gateway. Here's the documentation. And you just paste the documentation, press that, and it's basically going to go through your whole OpenClaw config and make sure that everything is running smoothly for you. And this is going to fix most gateway errors. It's going to check your port. You can even launch your security and tighten that up with Claude Code as well. But before you do this, if you want to be very cost aware, you can go in and you can change your model by writing /model, and now you can set up Sonnet 4.6, which is going to help you save money because you don't really need Opus 4.6 to do the fixes right here. And that's basically it. So whatever issue you have, if it comes to your Discord setup, your Telegram setup, if you're not able to reach, if your OpenClaw keeps disconnecting, if your config file is malformed, if it corrupts, if anything happens as you're playing with OpenClaw, you can basically just use Claude Code to fix your OpenClaw. And I know it's quite silly, but that works. Now, this is for local users. So if you're on a VPS, which is also a good setup, which I also do recommend, I run local and I run VPS. The video in the top right corner is going to basically help you with all of that as well. Make sure you subscribe. I will be launching a lot more fixes and more mini videos to kind of help you with these niche little things, on top of very big guides and also workshops, workflows. And if you haven't yet, make sure you join the free school community where you can ask me any questions and I'll help you out whenever I have time. And that's where I will be launching the big stuff. I have nothing to sell you right now, but hey, anyway, so enjoy, take care, and let me know how that works out for you in the comments down below. Take care.